Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Master Coach Aaron Guyett, the Education Director with Living.Fit, as well as the Master Coach and specifically Master Coach of the battle ropes. So, got these super sweet 50-foot, inch-and-a-half braided battle ropes that we're going to do plank. The exercise demo of this week is plank waves. I'm not going to go through all of the plank exercises, but specifically the plank exercise where I'm facing down towards the anchor. We can turn away, we can go the other way, go sideways and whatnot, and discover even more movements. But I'll leave that up to you. I just kind of want to go over what are kind of the main benefits, how do we set it up, and how can I program to get the most out of a plank wave. And obviously that's not going into anything static. Everything is just wave driven for this exercise demo. So let's go down and actually check out how to set up the rope. So obviously we're just doing a basic doubled rope, right? As you see there. So this is the same thing that you see in the challenge. So the challenge of this week that was posted on Instagram, it was posted on Facebook. It was also posted on Twitter. If you're looking for more challenges, more lives like this, more exercise demos, you can go to Living.Fit. There's a collection of them in there in the community, as well as you can go to @Battle Rope Exercises on Instagram, and you can go to @KBKLiving.Fit on Instagram as well. So what we have here is basically it's just doubled, so it's halfway on the rope. I just loop it through, and this is a simple strap. Simple carabiner. I can hook this strap and or carabiner to basically anything. And what that does so if I put it to like a squat rack, right? What you can see here is there's like bolts, right? Sharp edges, things like that. And what that will do, that will tear apart your rope. And if you tear apart your rope, the rope costs a lot. If you tear apart that little canvas strap or that little strap, that rope is now going to last a really, really long time. All right, so let's go through now the plank. So now you know how to set it up. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Now let's go through why would I want to use a plank? Well, the main benefit for me planking, the feeling that I feel with gravity standing up with vertical core, I do have to get some engagement. There's ab engagement, so I don't flop over and fall down. There's obviously vertical core in my back, my upper back, right? To have good posture, I have to be strong and stable from my hips all the way up to my shoulders. Now, once I get down into that plank position, because of the position relative to gravity and where the ground force reaction is, now I've double, triple, maybe even quadrupled the amount of force depending on how much I'm actively engaging in that plank position and how quality my form is through my vertical core. So you tell me, would you benefit from a stronger vertical core? So from the hips, abs are stronger, obliques are stronger, erector spinae is stronger, all my interscapular muscles are stronger, my lats are stronger, my scap is stronger, my traps are stronger, my shoulders are stronger. Would you benefit from having a more strong and stable vertical core? Absolutely, and so would I. So that's what I love about doing any sort of wave movements in the plank position. So I'm already integrating and creating strength, creating stability, creating endurance if I want to go for longer periods of time, and I can even create explosive power of stability and engagement through this vertical core position that is the plank. Right. So from here, now in the challenge, the movement was so let's go position first. So if I drop my hips too low, right, that's not going to help engage my vertical core. If I bring my hips too high, that's not going to help engage my vertical core. If you need to give yourself a little bit of a break, you need to regress it, then you want to err on the side of going hips high, and you want to err on the side of going nice and wide in your stance. So wider in the stance, hips high will still protect that back and still give you a strong, or at least some vertical core and a strong plank position. Even if the plank position is sort of regressed, right? You can slowly progress, get your feet closer together, drop your hips, get your feet closer together, drop your hips, get your feet closer together, drop your hips. Don't drop them below straight line. So when we think about this, we want to think from ankle, through the knees, through the hips, through the shoulder, and through the ear is a straight line. So if I'm up here, or if I'm sagged, right, like this, or if I'm rounded too much, right? None of that is gonna help create a stronger integrated plank position, a stronger integrated vertical core. So we want to think about keeping that straight line and then locking into it. So I'm engaging the quads, I'm engaging the feet, I'm engaging the calves, I'm engaging my glutes, I'm engaging my abs, I'm engaging my lats, I'm engaging my scaps, I'm engaging my pecs, my shoulders, right? And then I begin my movement. So from here, I do about shoulder to hip width apart to give me a little bit of stability so I can produce strong lateral waves, right? So the lateral wave is what we did for the challenge. And I went about 2 feet forward. So if I pull this rope all the way straight and I want to do my planks from here, right, it's going to be a lot easier for me to get my waves, whether they're lateral, vertical, circular, to get all the way to the end because I've got tension in my rope. And it might actually hurt my movement as well. So I want to go at least a half a foot, if not a full foot forward. For the challenge this week, we did 2 feet forward, and that was so that we could create strength. So 2 feet forward, and we did about 20 seconds. So what that's going to guarantee is you're going to hit your lactic threshold. Once you hit your lactic threshold, right, this is the same exact thing that we look for when we train strength with all of our other tools. We do 5, 8, 12, 20 reps, right? And the whole goal is hitting that lactic threshold. And why is that? Well, we know if we do that for set after set, anywhere from 3 to maybe even up to 8 or 10 sets, then when I come back next week, next month, I'm going to be that much stronger as long as I continue to do that in a progressively overloaded fashion. So how do we progressively overload with a rope? Well, we can go further forward. That's going to increase the amount of mass that I have to move. That's going to increase the amount of intensity that I have to produce to have my lateral or my vertical or my circular wave down that rope, right? And then in the plank position, I'm already taxing my abs, I'm taxing my quads, I'm taxing my glutes, my upper back, and my pecs, just to be able to hold and stabilize to produce movement down the rope. So that's a way to progressive overload. The other way, we can add volume, right, which is what we do a lot of times with weight. So if we don't add weight, which is moving forward with the rope, then we can add reps or we can add sets, right? And then that creates more time under tension, that creates more volume. That's another way to progressive overload, right? So I kind of talked about endurance, which is way back here where it's easier. Strength is up here. And if we want to train power, we want to train that explosiveness, it's going to be even further forward, right? So I'm going to need massive amounts of power output, force production, to get my waves to go all the way to the end. I'm only going to be able to do it for very, very short periods of time, and I'm going to need lots of rest. Well, what is that exactly like? That's exactly like any sort of powerlifting program, any sort of Olympic lifting program, right? You do very short, very explosive work, and you do lots and lots of rest, right? So that's the power component, or the alactic component, or the phosphagen component. So there's 3 ways to kind of set it up, and it's basically where you reside in relation to the anchor, and then it's also how you set up your work to rest, or your set rep variations, or your set rep breakdowns. And so that's all the ways that you can program with this plank and actually any rope exercise, but that's the way you can program with this plank. Now let's talk about specific muscles, kinetic chain and movement patterns that we're actually improving. So I talked to you about the vertical core integration. We are vertically integrated creatures, whether when we're biped or even when we're quadruped, right? So that's going to be a major benefit just functionally for human existence and more quality of life. But then think about it, if I'm in grappling, or if I want to get my biceps, triceps, shoulders, pec, upper back, and abs a lot stronger, my upper body, if I want to get it a lot stronger, then I can drop down into this plank and make it way more intense, way more difficult to produce lateral waves, or vertical waves, or circular waves, right? And that just in itself is going to make those muscles, or those kinetic chains, or those movement patterns much more strong, or build endurance in them, or build explosive power in them based on how you program. So that's kind of the breakdown of the plank wave, and we obviously talk principles and concepts in relation to rope, and then also correlate those or look at those in comparison with other weighted tools like kettlebell, dumbbell, barbell, things like that. So hopefully that paints a solid picture so that you can implement plank waves into your program. You can implement plank waves into your own training. And as always, make your next one your best one. If you want to see more of these, go to Living.Fit/live, and there is a ton there for you.